up, everybody? Let me think this is the screen. Yeah, that's the screen I wanted. What's up? As you guys can tell, we're doing something different today. We're going to do some painting. Now, I'm not very good at it. I've painted a total of 2 minis so far. But I had a lot of fun doing it, which is the important part. And that's what we're going to do. I don't have anything else to say. I really don't have like a true scheme down. So right now, the two of them that I've painted do look very different from each other. But I am painting the Space Marines from the... Let me get my mic over here. I'm painting the Space Marines from the Space Marine Heroes Series 4 box, which were blind bag push fit models. I have all of them because I thought they were super cool. And I did know I wanted to do some... I did know I wanted to do some painting. I wanted to try it, at least. So, yeah. Let me just get some stuff set up here. More like I just gotta set some stuff down. Everything's already set up. I set up before stream because I'm quote unquote responsible. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but well, we can chit chat while I'm setting up. If you, I don't know if you guys have looked at the description. If you have, then you will saw that I'm not painting a specific chapter. I came up with my own chapter. I say came up with. I really just didn't want to paint a established chapter and then get roasted by the Warhammer community for doing a terrible job. So I decided I was gonna do my own thing. Here, I'll show you. Don't look too closely at my paint job because it kind of sucks. I'm gonna get them into frame here and keep them level. Holy. This is my first guy. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at keeping this guy in frame. He's just blue. He's just a blue guy. He's got some gold. He's got some brown. He's got... I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but my camera will focus. That is like a reddish brown color for the bolter. I am really proud of that, but I have no idea how I mixed it because I was using leftover paint that was already on my palette. Then there's this guy. I painted him up just a couple days ago. I went with a black bolter. The reason why the end of his bolter is red is just thought like he had just been shooting and his bolter got all red hot. This is what I'm thinking. Hold on. Okay, I thought I had to sneeze. So those are the two guys I have. I have one guy that's disassembled because I already primed him because I was trying to use Zenithal Prime. I don't know if it's going to look any good or not, but I'll show you because I have two of that model. It's this super neato little sniper guy. Here, let me cover my face so it'll focus better. But yeah, he's disassembled. He's actually the guy I paint first because I don't have to put a prime coat on him. Then I have this guy who I'm gonna call him almost a Terminator. There's a guy running with a chainsword. If it'll focus on him. Then there's a guy throwing a grenade. And then last, but most certainly not least, is the captain. If you noticed, which, yes, I'm going to say it now, I'm using empty Jim Beam like airline bottles for holding my minis because they're actually a really nice like paint handle you can control really well. At least I can. And so it was working. I mean, that's what I got. um, yeah, I guess we'll get started. If you're wondering what paints I'm using, I'm just using Army Painter Game Master. You cannot read that label, Game Master, which is they're meant to be fantasy, for like fantasy minis. But obviously they work just fine for your grim dark space dudes. I don't plan on playing Warhammer. I think Warhammer as a hobby is too expensive, so I don't plan on playing it. But I do want to paint up these minis. And I said he was in multiple parts, the first guy, because here's the front part of his body. The blue stripe, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that blue stripe. Blue stripe is where, when I was spray priming him, this is where his arm was. Then there's the arm with his gun. Here's his, this one's the creepiest. It's his head and his other arm. And then the back part of him with his power plant. So painting this is going to be a little bit interesting because I'm going to have to be hitting different sections with my blue because I'm starting off. Let me start getting this mixed up a little bit here to adjust my how I'm setting everything up right now because I normally paint in a different setup. This is so I can still use my PC while I'm painting. I'm going to start off with Kraken blue for the armor. That's just what I use. It's a nice blue. I mean, this is darkened with a wash, but it's this blue right here. Looks really nice. Does look good with the wash on it though. It's just gonna be what I use for. This does not want to. Mixing ball doesn't want to mix. Okay. Let's see. My size 3. Yeah, I'll use my size 3. And then I'm using a Slim Chicken's mason jar for my water. Now, what part do I start with? I'm thinking we start with. Oh, that's not stable. I guess I'll have to hold it with my fingers. While I paint on this. I think I'm gonna start with the blue. I'm gonna start with the blue anyway, but I think I'm gonna start the blue off on the arm with the sniper rifle. Just a couple little sections there. That'd be a good place to start, and then we'll move on to the arm with just the other arm, so you can take care of the shoulder pad. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'll start with not a whole lot of paint because this guy I don't have to paint like the back of him. I do have to paint his power plant, but we'll start off with a little bit of paint and we'll work from there on if we need more or not. I don't want it to explode. Just a little bit more paint. Again, we're starting with Kraken blue. You guys might not be able to see a whole lot. I'm gonna try to like talk through what I'm doing, but at the same time, I can't really get my camera to cooperate with what I want it to do. So blue tack bamboo skewer setup I thought was going to work is not really looking like it's wanting to work. I'm trying not to breathe too much while I'm doing this. Because I'm trying not to breathe too much because I'm shaky enough as is. So oh, it's doing so well. And we'll come back and touch that up later. I'm just kind of going panel by panel here. I'm not trying to do anything crazy here. Didn't have a whole lot of paint on my brush for that part. So that part looks kind of splotchy. I can come back and add more to it. And the Army Painter paints I got in the starter set, which I think I picked up from my local hobby store for like $50. I think that's how much I paid in total for right now. I'll paint this like wrist band section. I'll paint it blue. We'll see if I like it, and I'll come back and change it if I need to, or if I want to. Trying to get that pressed back in my blue tag here. I don't know how you guys are gonna be able to see that. It's blue. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but you know, you gotta just kind of do it. And yes, I do like to hold my models pretty close when I'm painting. Oh, I missed a. Oh well, at this point it's already primed. I missed a sprue connection point. I feel like I'm painting better. Like I know I'm not like a super good painter, and I'm also not very far into this paint job, but I just feel like I'm already like painting better. Like I'm hitting my my lines better. This arm I can kind of just slap on the blue right now. It's wanting to come off my blue tack. this very slowly. I don't care how it's angled, I just need it to stay on the blue tack while that coat dries. Alright, now we're on to the body. I don't know why I started with the panel of armor that's right underneath his knee, but it's coming off the blue tack. I really should have just used super glue like I was planning on. Even though I fought with super glue when I painted my first mini. In my mind, if I mess up, I don't get the greatest coverage on the armor. I'm just viewing it as extra weathering on the armor. That's part of the reason why I started with a black prime, so it could help me hide my newbie painting experience better, because if I miss something or my brush stroke wasn't solid or something, I can just be like, oh, that's just some extra weathering, you know, as unintentional as that weathering was. That's what it is now. I'm gonna add paint even to the like the armor section that you can't really see because of his sniper rifle. Just so I know it's there. Okay, I think that's the blue on that part of the body done. Now this is the part that's going to be easy because I can hold on to the base, because now I'm going to tackle the other side, like the cape, or not, because it's going to pop off my blue tack and I don't know where it went. Oh boy. Let me grab my flashlight, aka my phone. It could not have gone far. Where the heck? Back my chair a little bit. Okay, I have no idea where it went. How on earth did I lose it? heard it hit the ground, so I know it bounced somewhere. Oh, I see it. Okay. Doesn't look like the paint job suffered too much. Whew. Okay. I guess I'm gonna need to put a good amount more blue tack. Or maybe just a dot of super glue. I almost base coated part of the power plant that is covered by, like, I guess part of the cape, maybe like a poncho or like a tarp or something. AKA, it's not part of, well, part I was about to paint blue is not supposed to be blue, is what I was getting at. In way too many words. You're also not going to see me, like, you're not going to see me mixing colors all too much. Mainly because I don't have the faintest idea on how to do it well. It's like, yeah, you just put paint and paint. I tried that. On the second marine I painted. I did try to mix a purple. So I was mixing red and blue together. I really just did not get the color I wanted, so I did forget an entire foot. That would have been embarrassing had I put them back together and then caught it. Try to press that as hard as I can. This is the one that's actively trying to come off the blue tack. Let me just check the coat on the arm holding the sniper rifle. It can use a touch up. Looks like my brush control is getting a lot better. At least I think. It could not be. The world may never know. So, we're going to clean my brush. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but it's a thing that I do when I'm either wiping off excess paint off my brush onto the edges of my palette, or if I'm drying it off on my paper towel, I spin it. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I spin it, so it helps keep the point of my brush sharp. Now, I don't know what color to paint the hood, the part that covers the power plant, and the cape. Could do two colors because there is an underlying part to the cape. Here, I'll show you on the unpainted one because I have more control over it. Let's see. Down at the bottom, you can see that seam. There's like an extra like part of the cape. So I could do two colors. If I do two colors, that's going to be hard for brush control. I was thinking we go green, elven green, because I'm thinking he's a sniper. He's gonna be like trying to camouflage. And what color is camouflage normally? It's normally green. This green does not want to mix. Just beating on my desk a couple times. Hopefully I get some green out of this. I think I'm going to go green. I'm actually going to try... I'm going to add a little bit more green than I think I need. And then I'll try adding maybe a drop of white to it. And we'll try to do... I'll try to put some highlights in. I am only using this like $1 Dollar General palette, so I don't have much space. We'll put this over here. All right, let's put like 3 drops. So we're gonna have a decent amount of paint. Because like I said, I do want to actually try to do some highlights on this. So maybe I should grab a bigger brush or just put some more paint. Oh yeah. I'm going to add the green for right now is just going to be the outermost layer. Because like there's the outer layer and the inner layer. This is just going to be... Oh boy. It is trying to run from me. Again. Yeah, I know this is exhilarating content. But the green, I'm probably going to put maybe 2 or 3 coats. Because I do really want this to not, or to show as little brush strokes as possible. Even though realistically having some variation in the color would probably be helpful. But so I'll probably, once I can get solid coat, as I put some green on the power plant. Actually, I'm kind of liking how it's looking. Because again, if you're trying to blend in, like, it's not going to be perfect. I do. Because I am going to need a good chunk of the green mixed with white. But there are a couple areas that if I added some green and I mixed it with a drop of black, I could try to do shadows as well. I'm going to try to hit the little screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, we'll let that sit and dry for a little bit. Okay. While that's doing that, I'm actually going to look up some blue-green color scheme. Let's do blue. Let's do blue and green. You guys aren't gonna be able to see this. I'm trying to find. What was I looking up? Why was I looking this up? Blue and green. I don't even remember. I was gonna look this up for something, but blue and green. Okay. While the paint is still, well, also while the paint is still white, doesn't make any sense. So I was looking at the white paint. While the paint's still wet, I'm gonna take a different brush. I'm gonna take a smaller brush. Let's take this brush. And we'll add a drop of white. Well, that might be too much white. I might have to add a splash of green back into it. Actually, I might add just a smidge more white. Just put dot. Yeah, it's almost indistinguishable. this out of the dark light. Trying to pick out the areas on the cloak. I'm just gonna base coat the his hood with this lighter green color. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see any difference. You can see it in person. It's very subtle, which is kind of the idea I was going for. Cool. That's actually looking really good. Since I have a lot of this green already, I don't really feel like adding, like, mixing in a bunch of, like, mixing another, like, section of green with the black. I might just add the black to this just to redarken it and then make it even darker. And I know black is very, very overpowering in paint. Use my bigger brush for mixing. Actually, I'll just use one of my really crappy brushes. Like, oh, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Is that lint? It's lint. Look how crappy this brush is. I'll use that for mixing. And so for our black, we're going to use just some chaotic black. Again, it's just the black that comes in. We have bubbles coming out of my paint. I may have added too much black. We're about to find out. Wet my brush. Actually, I actually don't think I did. I think honestly that might be close to the perfect dark, like low light. Is that the right term? Look at see chat. I don't know if low light shadow color. I don't know. I'm not very smart when it comes to mini painting. We're gonna lighten it up just a little bit because it does look a bit. It's skewed a bit too much to black. Like it looks more like black with green next in as opposed to green with black next in. I don't know why my green isn't flowing. So just a bit more green. Trying to get it to be more green toned. I don't know if anything I'm saying, but if people who are actually good at mini painting makes any sense. But hey, at the end of the day, it's making sense to me. This looks very similar to my original green. That actually gives me an idea, though. That gives me an idea. I don't know if it's going to look good or not, but it gives me an idea. This is either going to look really good, and I'm going to consider myself to actually, I'll start calling myself decent at painting, or it's going to look terrible, and I'm going to say that I'm the worst painter alive. So, where did I put my lid? Where's the lid to the white? Oh, there it is. Add a little bit of white. And we won't add the black just yet, but we have a little bit of white. Why do I have white? I meant to use brown. Actually, I know why I meant to use white. Like that. Just like a little bit of shine. And then I was going to make the cloak. See, I remember why I looked up that blue-green color palette earlier. So I was trying to find out what colors worked well with blue and green. So I could make the undercloak look a lot better. But I kind of gave up on that idea and kind of went with white because I think it'd be kind of cool for him to have this super flashy white like cloak or cape. I guess it's more of a cloak because it's hooded. I thought it'd be cool to, you know, give him this like this flashy white under cape, under cloak. Okay, so my idea is it's brown and black, very tiny amounts, and I'm gonna add on some splotches onto the cloak, onto the top of the power pack, and onto the hood. Make it look more like a ghillie suit, which is the look I'm going for. So I'm gonna start with the brown. As I'm painting a kill team, I might only paint one model today because I'm having a lot of fun actually pouring like thought into this, because I normally just kind of throw colors at it and then call it a day. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, I kind of got that look going on. I just looked up some like woodland camo. And while I have the brown out, I'm going to go back to the front. And hit the pouches that he's got. Got a couple little pouches. Just trying to pick this out with the brown. Oh crud, before my green dries out. Crap. I've got some paint pooling. I don't want the paint to pool. So I'm just going to take it off with a brush. Just trying to have the brush like soak it up. I forgot that there's a part on the front of the armor that also has the, looks like I missed a section of the power armor too, so I'll have to add a very small amount of blue on the top. I'll do it closer to the end. Alright, time to add black. I'm not sure realistically how I feel about the white. I think it looks kind of nice because like some of the woodland camo I'm looking at, like some of it depending on like brand kind of has like stuff that's close to white. So well, it's probably more of a tan, but ooh, almost dropped my lid. But I didn't. I caught it. Actually, almost forgot a very tiny. I'll do something with the purity seal. I'll figure something out with that. Let me grab another one of my paper towels. That's my 0. I didn't put any white on the hood. I will put a couple like random splotches. Okay, I don't know how well the color balance is. I'm pretty proud of that camo cloak. I don't know how much of this is actually going to make a difference because I'm putting a black paint over a black prime, but I do it anyway. Okay. I'm an idiot. Why don't I clean my brush? There's still another section. There's still something else that needs to be painted black. And That's this gamer's sniper rifle. This might be a series where I just paint up an operative a stream. On the back side, of the bolter, I'm not caring too much because you're not really going to see much, if not any, of this. I'm kind of just giving it a black base coat so that it doesn't. So if you do happen to see, behind sniper rifle, it doesn't, it doesn't look like I just missed that part of the paint job, even though that's kind of, I don't want it to look like I missed it when I didn't. I just didn't try. Okay. Is my brown still wet? I think we're getting there. Now it's on to my accent colors, which I think I just. I gotta do the base too. I haven't really focused on the base yet, but we're gonna start with the accent color that start with the first accent color, which is just going to be silver. This is plate mail metal. I'll put it over here. And we're really just going to use. There's be a couple spots I'm going to put this on, but the main one. Is obviously going to be the silver is a little bit, just a little bit transparent. Oh, you'll be able to see that, but the end of the barrel is silver now. I did accidentally take a little bit off. So shaky. Trying to just pick out the details. He's got a decent amount of silver on his belt. Why? I don't know. That looks nice. Okay. focus up here. I instantly mess it up. Okay. Now, this, see that green, oh god, you're not gonna be able to see that. There's like it's like a scanner of some kind. People who play Warhammer will probably be able to tell me what that is. Or know more about the lore than I do. So I don't think. I just need a little bit of green because I did forget this again. Oh, this is cloak or this is power armor, but I'm gonna make that part of a cloak along with right here. I don't want. I added some silver into my green, but I really don't want to add any green into my silver. Okay, that was... Doing that was stressful. And it's not about to get any easier. Because now we're moving on to gold, which is the color I use for the bullets on the base. Something I can't pull up. I can go back to chat. Oh, there goes my brush. I saw it falling too late. Okay, we'll give it another quick clean before I use it. We just need a small amount of gold. Actually, I need the paint to come out. I need it to stop bubbling. There we go. This is dwarf gold. We just have a couple more colors left. I did forget. I didn't necessarily forget. I did forget it. There's a lot of bullets on the ground. Okay. So I think that's all the bullets. Then there's my silver. I probably should do silver last. I'll probably do another touch-up of silver. I'll probably do touch-ups of silver and gold. Because now, where did I put it? It's right here. I'm going back to the brown. Because if you guys saw on my other bases, they're on like a muddy, rocky battlefield. So, I'm gonna go in with a loaded brush first. Trying to knock out some of the areas with a lot. of this dirt first. And like the edge of the base, well, the edge, not the rim. And for this, I'm not trying to get absolute perfect coverage. Because, you know, this is not only is it a battlefield, but it's kind of a dirty sort of battlefield. Battlefield's always dirty, but this is more like I'm envisioning this kind of like a World War One. Like in my head, it's like a Verdun kind of battlefield where everything's just kind of been shelled to shit. So there's not going to be a whole lot of like greenery, but there's gonna be like variation in like the like the dirt and everything. Alright, we're gonna use our last color. We used a lot of colors. Actually, we have 2 colors left. So I do wanna try to touch the eyes, and then we have the wash. But the wash I'm not gonna count as a color per se. We're gonna use a gray. Actually, I kind of want to see what happens if I can get my gray to cooperate. I'm gonna mix gray and brown using Game Master Army Painter Orc Gray. We're gonna go back and now this brush is saturated with water. Well, this dry brush effect isn't really having... I don't know if I'm doing dry brushing right. I'm not, but I'm kind of getting somewhere with that. I'm just gonna resort myself to knowing that I'm gonna have to touch up my metallics and just get this rock painted. Looks very similar to the ground, so I don't think mixing with the brown was my greatest choice, but I can now make sure. I'm gonna try some like wet blending, I guess is what this would be called. To try to get some variation of color on these rocks. actually looks kind of cool. I don't hate that, actually. Alright. So now it's time to come back in. And then after this, we'll let it dry. And then I will put them back together and alright. Like I said, I gotta do a couple touch-ups in some places with the blue. So we'll add a drop of blue, and then we'll do the touch-ups, and then we'll add a drop of red. And I'll do my very best to try to hit those the eyes. Where was that? Here's the piece of armor I missed. Yeah, so I started this paint job. I started with the prime. I started with a zenithal. But since I'm not thinning my paints, I'm just using them out of the pot, or out of the bottle. I don't think I'm going to use a zenithal. I think I'm just going to. I'm just going to. That didn't work. Fuck. Uh-oh. This isn't good. That actually looks kind of cool. If it dries looking like that, we're going to be in business. But one last section to do. You're barely going to see this guy's face anyway, so. Alright. Well, it's time to let them dry. So, about 10 minutes. Something like that. So, put my paints away. Actually, I did this with my brown. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I painted the color on the cap. I'm gonna do that. I have too much water. There we go. Yeah, I'm not gonna be painting anymore, so I might as well just, you know, use my leftover paint so it doesn't go to waste. that way, because I plan on trying to, you know what I'm trying to say. Problem is that some of these caps, I won't be able to do like my metallics because Army Painter puts a different cap color for the different styles. Here, I can show you. I can't show you this one because this one's red. We're letting that one dry now. But like, where's my blue? Did I put my blue down here? I did. I have a good amount of blue, so we'll paint the blue cap. So for like your regular colors, the cap is white. For the wash, it is a red cap. For metallics, it's a black cap, and then for the brush-on primer that they give you, it is a green cap. So it's like I can really only do this for I don't have to worry about brush control or obscuring detail or anything with this. This is just simply paint the cap. And then I'm not going to paint the green or the brown because those are mixed with other colors on my palette currently. No, I'm running out of paint. Yeah, close enough. And I think the only other color that I can paint on right now, I actually use a different brush. I'm gonna use my big brush. Let's use this comically large brush for this. We'll use this one. Probably would have worked better if I had used a smaller brush or dried this brush off better. But it's working. Sort of. Gets the point across as to what color it is. Alright. Okay. It's time to put them back together. So, ooh, that scared me. Push the head. Okay. And then we remove the body. Oh no. It's like the blue tack came off with the body. I'm gonna have to probably I'm gonna have to put them together the base. Oh, crap. Is there any usable blue left? No. Give it just a couple minutes. I can probably use the blue off the cap. We'll see how noticeable it is once I get them rebased. It's not super noticeable. I'm not going to worry about it. And it's not super noticeable. One of the pins, the pin in the up to super blue. That back on. Well, we can just do that. We're gonna let the super glue set for a little bit, and then we'll show you what the pre-wash, and then I'll throw the wash on, and that's where I'm gonna call stream because the wash does take a while for it to dry. Actually, I can show you it right now. So let me mess with my camera settings really quick. Configure video. Let's see. Let's bring the brightness down. Up the contrast. Actually, let's just default it and see what happens. See how well you can see the colors. You really can't see them that well on this camera. But there's the camo cloak. There's one thing left I gotta do, which I forgot about until I was putting it back together, which is I gotta paint the base rim. So Catholic black. I'm not gonna need too much of this. Use a little bit more than I know I'm gonna need, just so that way afterwards I can paint the cap. Like if I remember hearing correctly, which I could be wrong, if you would want to play like at a sanctioned, like official, like Warhammer event, if you were playing 40K, which is, you know, what these models are in fact from, then you would have to paint the base rims black. Like it was like in the painting, in like the paint job rules, it had to be painted black, and like Age of Sigmar was a different color, and these things are 3 colors. I've made sure that they are 3 colors. So if I ever decide, hey, I'll give Killteam a try, then I know for a fact that my Killteam that I will bring is legal. And now I'm trying to get all paint into the recesses of the cap. Okay, there's that. All right. Pretty sure I'm pretty sure the super glue is set, or at least set enough for me to use it. So now comes the final step. The strong tone wash. Now this is my favorite step because I just get to go hog wild. And it's what turns what looks like I didn't even paint the plastic for the base coat it turns that into, you know, Space Marines that look like they've been in combat for a while. So for a little bit more. This guy, this sniper guy, I want to add like a pretty generous amount of wash. Like not just to like him like the armor, but also like to the base. I usually have to pick the bristles of this brush out off my paint job afterwards because this brush is a low quality like craft brush, and so it likes to shed. I'm just gonna go back in and just try to find areas where it's pooling where I don't really want it to pool, and try to move the wash to areas I want it to pool, or I just kind of want it to be. Alright, this is not how it's going to finish looking, but you can see how he's pretty dingy and everything. It's my favorite one so far, I gotta say. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let him dry probably overnight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Check the link in the description for Team Envious. We're doing cool stuff. I've got some stuff in the works that I want to do. I just gotta get my ass in gear to get it done. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me while I painted up a Space Marine. I'm gonna do this more often because I do want to finish. I actually want to get a Killteam painted up. So I think it'd be pretty fun to have Killteam and maybe even play Killteam if I know people that play it. But yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.